We are the ones who live here.
نحنا يلي عايشين هون.
And we are proud to share with you these stories of life in Lebanon. This episode discusses domestic violence and mental illness. We know that some people may find stories on these topics difficult to hear. If it feels like this might be you, take care of yourself first. Rita Mhanna shares with us her experience of the different forms love can take in difficult times.
When we fled the house I grew up in, I couldn't bring my electric piano with me because it was far too big. Out of everything I left behind, that was the only thing I really missed. I used to sleep in my car because I had nowhere to go that wasn't far from work. On weekends, though, I would visit my mom, who was staying with my uncle in the north. I used to love the fantastic 200-year-old piano at my uncle's house that was never in tune. The one you're hearing now. But when it was the only piano I could play, I started to hate it. Mom, again? What's so hard to understand? Mom, I told you I need complete silence to record. Stop chopping onions.
لا ما عم أعمل شي أنت خرفيني. No, I'm not doing anything. You are wrong.
I can smell the onions you're hiding behind your back. And I can see the tears in your eyes.
لا أنا ما ببكي حتى بدفن أمي ما بكيت. No, I don't cry. Even when my mom died, I don't cry.
Sure, Mom. Deny the truth. This is what you always do. She always denies reality. Like when I asked her if Dad was sick. Mom, is Dad sick?
No, your dad is just stubborn and we made him sick by leaving him.
The night of October 25. I scratched on my notebook my fresh memories of my 7th date with my new boyfriend. I came home to the house where I had lived my whole life, and I found my sister staring at me with sinister eyes. What happened? Dad was back, so we had to leave home. Actually, that house wasn't really home for me. It never was. I can't remember any day there when I wasn't afraid of my dad. His heavy, sliding and scuffing steps approaching my room could only bring me panic. Why? Because he was always scary to me, and he became physically violent toward us several years ago. He once tried to strangle my sister. He tried to strangle me the night of my 20th birthday party. He stabbed my mom with a knife and he pointed a loaded gun at her. Threatening my mom is what finally got him sent away. And now he was back. Mom was away. She was safe and staying with family. and panic took over my body at the thought of staying in the house with him. Later, I asked him if he understood why we had to leave when he came home. Do you know why we left home?
لا.
You don't know why we left, right?
لا.
Not at all? I couldn't tell if he was denying that we used to fear his presence, or if he's just not aware of what he used to do to us. It seemed blurry to him, as his gaze remained fixed on the mountains surrounding our balcony. He kept silent and did not look at me. That moment stretched into an awkward pain, as I wondered if it would be better if he'd made himself forget what he'd done to us, or if he'd never been aware of it at all. I wanted to disappear, and as he started to fumble for words, I began singing in my head to soothe myself. I started silently singing, "You are my sunshine," which is what I always hear when I think of Emmy, my sweetest superhero, Princey Sunshine. In fact, it's his ringtone when I call him.
Hello.
I started calling Habibi my sunshine after he brought light to the nights I used to spend alone when I fled my family. Those nights seemed endless and stressful, and I never felt safe. But on October 25, 2022, for the first time, I didn't have to face them alone. I used to sleep alone at Zata Rosette, the only restaurant where I could safely stay for the night. I would stay in the restaurant till 1 a.m. when they closed, and then I would go to sleep in my car. But that night, my sunshine stayed with me. We spent the night together. He didn't leave, even though I begged him to. At 3 a.m., as my eyes were slowly closing, I laid my head on his shoulders, and I felt something new. I felt love. Are you happy that you have 2 daughters, like me and my sister, or not?
لا نشكر الله الحمد لله.
His answer shook me at first. He'd said no, and it sounded like he was saying he didn't love us anymore. I felt a dizzy fear that we were suddenly back to a time when he refused to be nice with us. But when I looked into his eyes and saw how they were wide with horror, I realized that it was the question itself that was horrific to him. It was the question that he was pushing away with his no, because it was painful to him that his love for us could ever be questioned. I have a question. Did you miss us when we left home?
لا.
How much?
كتير.
Why? When I would visit my dad's sister, she would always grace me with her incredible wisdom. Here's an example of the sorts of conversations we used to have, although I'll have to read both parts of it, since I don't speak with her anymore. I would say, "You're telling me that Dad was only expressing his love with violence, so I shouldn't have left the house and stayed with a guy at night? Really? So love is when you stab someone with a knife to express your emotions? And the guy who stayed awake all night while I was asleep on his shoulder and protected me from everything that could have hurt me is bad, and my dad loves me? She would say, "Yes, my niece, your dad is sick. You can't leave him, as he's not scary. He's your dad." "And you stayed at night with some stranger alone?" And I would say, "So dad is not scary? He is my dad, therefore he loves us." You may think that he's a monster, or that I'm a liar, but no. My dad has bipolar disorder. My whole life, he's had these phases when he's violent and scary because of his illness. What surprises me the most when I sit and think about all of this is that I am not afraid of my dad as much as I was afraid to leave him in Dar Salib, the monastery of the cross, the only psychiatric hospital in Lebanon, for 6 whole weeks. We all drove him there, and my boyfriend held me and my sister in a hallway in the hospital, while she and I cried as we watched Dad willingly go to his room. He wasn't agitated or afraid, but he also didn't know that we were going to leave him there. We are 2 girls in Lebanon who, against the will of his whole family, took their dad to Dar Salib, not to hurt him or get rid of him, but so he could get help and start living as a human being and not as a monster. He was happy like a child, singing on the whole drive to Dar Salib. Was he aware of what he was doing when he was hurting us? Is it true that he loved us when he tried to kill us? I don't know. My whole life, I've been confused about what love is. But as I sat in the front seat, I looked over at my boyfriend while he drove us all to Dar Salib. And I know this is love. Two years later, mornings sound different in our house. The door opens to my dad's voice and footsteps, softer than ever. We drink coffee on the balcony with Mom each morning, and he makes the effort to see me, really see me. When I'm away, he feeds my cat and leaves notes that make sense, actual sentences, not anger. We speak about bills, neighbors, and the news. During the war, he made us laugh instead of panic. He joked about the blackouts, tried on Halloween costumes my sister picked for him, something I never thought I'd see. Maybe that's what healing looks like. Small, unexpected moments that rewrite what once felt impossible. He still has his moments. My story is not a fairy tale. But now I truly understand him and express gratitude when dealing with them. But love got complicated. My sunshine darkened when the war started. Something in love I saw for years shifted. Though he does not live in Beirut, sounds of bombing reached him in a different way. They awakened memories he had buried when he was a security officer. Things we had never known before. One day, he yelled at me at our house in front of family, friends, everyone. Just because I told him I trusted him. Trust is not an option anymore. It became harmful. Though everyone looked, I stayed quiet. I had sensed the early signs before. The tone, the control, and the shift. But that moment confirmed it. I realized then that love can wear the same voice as chaos, only softer at first. Now, I look at both men differently. One used to break everything and has to learn how to repair it. The other taught me that peace isn't found in light, but actually in calm. Maybe love isn't about rescue or permanence. Maybe it's about presence. The way we stay when it's hard. The way we leave when it hurts too much. The way we learn to recognize ourselves again in the silence that follows. Love isn't always kind, but it always changes. As if the pain can hide within caring eyes and make healing look like distance. Love isn't constant. It changes with war, with silence, with the weight of memory. It builds and it ruins, and somehow it still finds a way to return in gentler forms. And maybe that's love's truest form.
Lorette Farshach read the English translation of her own words. We Are the Ones Who Live Here was produced by Ben Murad and me, Farah Khatib. Our associate producer is Lien Jradi. Our editorial team includes Rita Mhanna, Rana Baghdadi, Ilyas Dimajian, Maya Adra, Nasreen Azizi, Jennifer Nasrallah, and Leticia Harib. Our sound producer is Wilson Bediner. Our music was made by Rafi Vghali, aka Tsatsa. We want to thank our Season 2 hero, Aisha Ghazul, and our Season 2 sponsors, Stephanie Barr, Jay Schubert, and Michelle Murad for their exceptional support. We couldn't have done this without you. This podcast was also made possible with the support of the Center for American Studies and Research, KZAR, at the American University of Beirut. We want to hear your stories of life in Lebanon, or just what you think of the show. Reach out to us on Instagram at WeLebanonPod. You can also email us at WeLebanonPod@gmail.com. Thank you for listening.
Okay, that was great. You had a few interruptions. Let's do one more take to see if the country of Lebanon will allow you to get one full take of this paragraph.
Yeah.